black cats got Dave N. The white hats, they got Doug. The Google search engine has... Welcome again to another Jim and Ann show. Yay!
Another favorite topic today of Jim's.
Google updates.
Google updates.
Can I say damn on the air?
Yes, of course.
Alright, so I'm sorry. The topic today is... there was a tweet. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
It was, very recently, whenever you're hearing this, that just happened. And someone asked Google, hey, are you going to be doing a penguin refresh? You know, it's been since October 17th of 2014. We're going on 9 months. You keep promising that, any day now there's going to be that update. As a matter of fact, they actually promised, a long time ago that it's going to be a continuous update. Continuous, there won't be any big, you won't have to wait for things or whatever. Like when you untrip it, I don't know, but they said it was going to be continuous. And it hasn't.
Yeah.
They say it's a high priority, but they're probably turning all these wheels, and every time they turn it, there's there's a whole bunch more babies in the bathwater being thrown out, and we've already got a whole bunch of casualties over here.
They seem to be struggling.
Yeah.
With both. They have been promising panda for a couple of weeks, maybe even months now. Mm. And now they struggle with penguin too, so maybe they will come together. Mm-hmm. That will be hard to analyze. Should
we make a guess of when the next penguin update refresh will happen? August, September, I'll say October 1st. So my guess will be October 1st. And at some point...
They usually announce those big things on the conferences.
Yeah. What do we got? Hey, wait, when's PubCon?
9th of October.
PubCon!
Yeah.
Wonder who's coming from Google. I think there's a couple of Google reps going to PubCon.
I know who's not coming.
Should put in a plug for PubCon, because PubCon's awesome. If there was one conference that I was going to go to this year,
I'm moderating
it would be
this time.
PubCon Vegas. Really?
First time moderating. I'm freaking out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm speaking, I'm moderating, and I do site reviews too. So come.
Man, awesome. And I just got an email from DK as well. Me and him are on a link building panel. And I was thinking, do I tell Brett to call it content marketing instead of link building?
I do content marketing.
I'm like, you know what? This is PubCon. We're gonna call it for what it could be.
Well, we can say citation building. Then you were. Let's call it differently.
Citation building. It's brand building, but. So there's not going to be an update to what maybe October 1st. Who knows? Or do you have a guess on a date?
He seemed to say it was coming. No.
Yeah. No. It said 2 months, or at least that. I'm sorry. Not 2 months.
Yeah.
Said it's not going to happen for. All right. We're going to quote.
Let's find a quote.
So the official tweet was from
a Googler.
Gary. Gary is. Just to let you know his position on his Twitter account, it says that he's Webmaster Trends Analyst at Google, which is interesting. But he goes to a lot of the conferences and
recently a lot of stuff that we're hearing is coming from him. He seems to be very open.
He's in Switzerland.
Many SEOs say that he's a very nice guy.
Cool. We'll assume he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he at least has given out information.
Yeah.
And let's see. So he says that refresh is... let me grab his exact quote here. So the exact quote is, he was talking to Mr. Jamie Dodd, and he says, at Mr. Jamie Dodd, no period. Penguin refresh is months away. End quote.
So probably this year.
And this was posted on July 11th. So on July 11th, one of the Google spokesmen, we could say as well, said that it's going to be penguin refresh is months away. So months being plural would mean it's at least 2 months.
At least. So probably this year.
Yeah. Could be November,
Can it be 10
December.
Months?
If it reaches October, it'll be another year. Didn't they went a year between another update as well?
Yeah, more than a year.
Boy, if you get hit by penguin, you're effed for at least a year.
So Jim, let's explain. Could you explain why people are waiting for those updates?
So here's the important part.
Why it's so important?
So Penguin. So there's two main types of penalties that you can have around Penguin, you could say. Penguin has to do with your, the majority of the update has to do with your backlinks. You have bad backlinks going to your website. And if you have bad backlinks going to your, bad in the eyes of Google, things like directories used to be good years ago. Google used to recommend everyone submit to directories, so a lot of people did, but now 99% of those directories are bad links. But in any case, bad links is the reason why you're going to get hit by Penguin. What are bad links today? And if you're hit, there's two major types. There's the algorithmic penalty and a manual penalty. There are all different types of manual penalties, but one of the most popular manual penalties is it looks like you have unnatural links pointing to your site penalty message. And so if you have a manual penalty, then you're going to analyze links, you're going to do your disavow, you're going to try and remove links, you're going to write a letter to Google and say, I'm so sorry, and here's everything that I've done, and I'll never do it again. And after the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th time, they say, okay. And so you can kind of recover in a sense shortly after that. Well, I shouldn't say recover, but like see some type of little bounce in your rankings after that. And if you haven't
removed all your links, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
you get your message saying you've been forgiven. You're out of penalty now, and you're like,
no backlinks.
Yay! But I've removed all my backlinks, even the one. But in any case, so worry. So that's the manual update. If you have a manual penalty, then waiting on this Penguin refresh doesn't matter to you. You need to write the letter and be forgiven. But if you don't have a manual penalty and you were hit on one of the Penguin update dates, so if there was a date of a Penguin update and either you were hit there or we saw with Penguin 3.0 that it sites kind of declined over a couple of months sharply. And for some of the other updates, you could see more clearly drops. And so if you have an algorithmic update, the only way that you can, if you've been penalized on one of those dates and you can't do a reconsideration, you're going to be doing, you're going to be analyzing your backlinks, you're going to be doing a disavow, you're going to be writing to people asking them to remove links, and then you're going to be sitting back waiting on the next Penguin update, which is what a lot of people are doing. People that were hit 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last update, it's like they've kind of done a bunch of link removal work and disavow work, and now they're sitting around waiting, saying, all right, on this update, if we suddenly start going up, then we did enough. Yay!
If not, then we'll wait for
If
the
not,
next
then we're out for what could be another year. Well, at some point, Google's going to do regular, but they always have this type of, there's a penalty timeout as well that's baked into the penalty. They bake a lot of interesting things in there, which, part of it, I believe, is a time period. But in any case, so a lot of people that have been affected by the Penguin update, they're sitting around waiting, and they're going to have to still continue to sit around waiting. Of course, you can monitor your backlinks and look at what's coming in Google, and people probably should be monitoring their backlinks on a regular basis to see what is coming in through Google. But another few months for Penguin. I laugh, but it's not funny. It's sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Well, I'm wondering why they said they were making it part of the algorithm and for them to happen continuously. And then a couple of months later, they say, no, we still have one coming in several months. So I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on, really? We used to have a few updates a year. So it was easier. You could analyze your links. You could do whatever you.
I think there's a lot. They wanna as well. I believe what they want to do as well is try and hide, not have all updates on one day. Because everyone says like, all right, on this date there was a Penguin update, and so I know that my links are bad and that's the problem, and I got hit with all these other people, and I instantly know, wow, I got hit, and I have to solve all this as quick as possible. And so a lot of people, they're hit on these exact dates, and I sometimes, for what Google used to do with some of the updates, is they would be like, all right, well, so to finish off the example there, if you were hit on a Penguin date, the problem is backlinks. Google instantly has punished me, and I need to instantly right now fix my backlinks. And if you were hit on a Panda update, it's like, all right, they hated my content. I got to do something right now to instantly try and fix the content problem. And what I think that Google really wants to do is something where it's like, let's say here's your website score, the value of what Google gives your website, and the rankings maybe that, maybe for the search for blue widgets, Google feels you should be currently says you should be number 3, but then they kind of do a refresh and they say, oh, wait a minute, this is tripped a filter. The new score shouldn't be 3, it should be like 53. And what they're going to do is, instead of doing it overnight, where it's like, if you're hit by a penalty, it's like overnight, you're like, oh, whatever, but they sometimes, for some updates, do it over a long period of time. So it's like 6 months later or 8 months later, you're like, what the hell happened? Like, my rankings and traffic just like slowly went down over time, and in 6 months there you are at 53, but it didn't happen overnight, and you're like, what the hell happened? And it's like later, it's like, was I hit by something? Was it my content? Was it my links? Was it what the hell? What do I do? Is it what are my problems? Mobile usability? Like, oh my god, it could be one of a million things.
So there are 2 possible answers to that. One is that they are trying to confuse us.
Yeah.
This is one, and we are not.
Well, I don't think they want
people
to know that they were hit.
It's still weird. Do they want us to fix the mistakes, or do they want us to continue making them? We don't know. I think
they like SEOs, and so it's as much as SEOs just muck up their algorithm. So the less that people know or can do, the better they're at being able to organize the web their own way. And God forbid you do something wrong at some point, and you're not a big enough brand to support whatever you did wrong, or whatever you thought was right at one point, or was right at one point, and recommended. It's, even I was listening to one of the radio shows, and we were talking about the asking for a link, and we say, all right, there was a couple days there where I think it was Portugal said that you can't even ask for a link. So Google Portugal said that if you ask for a link, that's against the guidelines. And then a few days later, of course, that made big news because SEOs had picked up on it, and Google rephrased it to be, you're not allowed to ask for links that are outside of Google's webmaster guidelines. And what if I ask you for a link today and you give me the link, and then next year Google says if you have any links that you ever asked for, you can get penalized for that. And then, I don't know, someone points out to Matt Cutts, remember during this show here, the Jim and Ann show, where Jim said, hey guys, will you link to me if you go to internetmarketingninjas.com/blog and link to this blog post? I'd really like that. I'm not going to pay you or anything, but what if a year from now Google says, hey, if you ever asked for a link, that's against the guidelines today, and you're like, oh no, well, so here's that video, and Jim asked for that, and you better either follow those links.
That's not the first time that would happen, because last year we've talked a lot about retroactive penalizing. When something was fine 2 years ago, and it was even endorsed by Google, 2 years after that, they say, no, those are bad links. And not only they are bad, you have to go now and remove them because they are bad today, even though 2 years ago they were fine. So that's not the first time. That's happening year after year. But the only thing that's weird is that it's getting more confusing because we had Panda and Penguin, and it was quite easy. We knew what to fix, how to fix, what to wait for, and what to do. Now we have some weird phantom update. We have those news that both Panda and Penguin will become the part of the algorithm, and they will come continuously, so we'll have no dates. So
Imagine
we
if
will
they're
not
all
know what
like
to
they
fix.
have the quality update, the mobile update, the unnamed
HTTPS
update,
update.
Yeah, the pigeon update, the penguin update, the pirate, the penguin, the in the news. Like, just imagine the author. Just imagine if there were no updates on dates, where it's like suddenly over the course of 6 months, you're just like, what the heck happened? And you're like, hi, I guess you got to look at everything in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you'll never, right now, the biggest thing that we do if someone says they've been hit by something is we look at the analytics and we look at rankings and line it up with like dates of updates, and it's like,
yeah, and it's
let's see.
It's been so clear. You first go to Webmaster Tools and check if there is any message. If there is no message, you analyze the dates, how the traffic declined, and look at the site. So it's been clear, and the process is step by step.
I look a lot at the ranking. I look a lot at the rank more than the analytics. We do look at the analytics, but I look at SpyFu and SEMrush and look at their graphs and charts of rank droppings as well, because if you just look at the analytics, you're missing out on how Google specifically is treating your rankings on keyword phrases that are bringing you in the majority of your traffic.
Yeah, and you also need to compare search if there is any similar trend for Bing and Google to make sure there was nothing with the site like redesign or maybe some server issues, maybe it was hacked or anything, because those declines could be anything. But we had the process which is very clear, and we have dates and we have messages. What if we have no dates? How we tell what could have happened? Because let's be perfectly honest. No website is perfect. There are issues with all the website under the sun. They may be hacked. They may be redesigned. They may be just down because of some weird issues, server issues. All those things could have affected the traffic that's coming along because Google is not trusting that site that much anymore because it was like twice hacked, for example, with malware or anything. So we have, without those dates, how do we know? Is it the website? Is that Google filter? Is that what?
That's going to be, in a sense, it's going to be a nightmare for everyone, because if everything is just blended into, every update is continuous, and no matter what they come out with, we'll never know if they come out with something new. We'll have no idea, because it'll be just like rankings for sites just sometimes go down over 6 months and go up over 6 months, and by the time you realize, hey, wait a minute, what happened for most of these sites, and then they're going to go to an SEO and be like, what happened? And we're going to be like, I have no clue. We're going to have to look at everything. We're going to have to analyze the backlinks. We're going to have to analyze the content. We're going to have to analyze the mobile. We're going to have to analyze the usability. I guess that's all good. But the poor mom and pops, like that stuff is really everything I just talked to you, it's really expensive.
And you cannot really do that at home.
And ideally, you need someone that really knows what the F they're doing.
And the free services are very dangerous because they remove just all the links or disavow everything they see under the sun.
Mom and pop are in trouble. I mean, if you're a mom and pop, you got to turn into a brand. Anyone. I guess the answer to all this is you can either do stuff that's short term, and sometimes it's short term. You got to figure it's going to be short term, and accept if you're going to cross some line that you're going to get in trouble and you're going to lose that, and you certainly don't want a brand to do that. And if you're a brand, you have to be the best brand in your industry. I guess the old Google advice is still true here, and I wouldn't recommend doing anything that can get you short time gains, and people that are getting the short-term gains and doing stuff that's the quick and easy are the people that are being like, I need to be in the top 10 for this specific phrase. I need to be in the top 10 for blue widgets. And you know what? There's 99.9% of the ways that you're going to move from not into the top 10 to into the top 10 if you're physically going out of your way to try and do something. 99.9% chance that what you're trying to do is
dangerous.
Yeah, is dangerous. And so you really have to think about how do you create the world's best website and get natural mentions and create stuff which is worthy of mentions. And there is no magic bullet.